If you're looking for a budget-friendly action camera that delivers high-quality cinematic footage for your YouTube channel, the DJI Action 5 Pro might be exactly what you need. Whether you're filming high-speed power sports, or vlogging on the go, or capturing cinematic B-roll, this camera is a great option. But here's where this camera gets really special. The footage from the Action 5 Pro can be used seamlessly alongside professional mirrorless cameras, making it a fantastic tool for creators who want versatility without spending thousands of dollars on extra gear. But why is this camera so good for YouTubers? This camera has 4K video at 10-bit D-Log-M, and this means more color data and more dynamic range with room for color grading to your own style, as well as being able to use it alongside pro-level mirrorless cameras. Rock steady stabilization. I've put this camera through some crazy conditions and I don't need a gimbal or any stabilizers just with this camera. And there's multiple field of view options on this camera, from standard view for vlogging shots or A-roll, to wide field of view for action stuff, to even super wide, getting you all the environment in there. Also the great low light performance that you can get out of this Action 5 Pro. Unlike older action cameras, this one holds up really well in low light conditions. I made a video on the low light capabilities. You can check it out in this video up here. This camera is also very durable, being waterproof and rugged, perfect for creators who need something durable while out on their adventures. You can hook this up outside your vehicle, going up a trail, mount it to your helmet or dirt bike, your mountain bike, whatever situation you find yourself in. This camera is tough enough to handle it. And if you're serious about creating cinematic, high quality videos, if you're on a budget, this camera is one of the best options available right now. Let's get into the settings that I use to get the most professional or cinematic look from this camera. First, resolution and frame rate. For the best quality out of this little camera, I always shoot in 4K, 24 frames a second, and with a 16:9 aspect ratio. This gives that smooth, natural motion that we see in our favorite films. If you're doing fast-paced power sports content, you might want to switch to 30 frames per second or up to even 60 frames per second. So you can slow down your footage in post-production for a more dramatic effect. But also using 60 frames per second is going to give you the best results. From my testing, using this for motorsports and other types of action type footage, anything under 60 frames per second gave the footage a jittery look. So if you're going to be using this for more action sports, then you may want to put your shutter speed at 60 frames per second. And don't go any lower than that. Maybe 30 frames per second, depends on your use. For vlogging, I normally stick to 24 FPS and I'll use the standard field of view. And for action scenes, I will go to 60 frames per second and I'll use that wide field of view to get more of that environment in there. Using this in more fast-paced environment with action sports, using that wide field of view is gonna give you more of what's happening around you in the environment, as opposed to just seeing your handlebars right in front of you. Now let's talk about shutter speed. A good rule of thumb here is to use the 180-degree shutter rule, which means your shutter speed should be double that of your frame rate. So we've got this at 24 frames per second. I'm gonna change this to be 1/50 on my shutter speed. If we had this at 30 frames per second, I would go at 1/60 for my shutter speed. If we were shooting slow motion stuff, 60 frames per second, you're gonna double this to 120. This ensures that you get good natural motion blur in your videos and it doesn't turn out just being too choppy and kind of jittery in the film. Next up is the exposure settings. This is going to determine how bright or dark your image is. You can see you have a lot of different options over here inside. I set my ISO in a range between 100 to 6400, but ideally you really wanna say between 100 to 800, that's going to keep a lot of that noise and grain out of your image and it's going to give you a clean image. Sometimes you may step into a darker room, or if you're filming later in the day, you're losing light, so you could set that a little bit higher. But if it's getting darker, you may just want to switch over to night mode and not worry about the ISO. I also adjust the exposure compensation over here to be -0.3. and this helps protect the highlights from blowing out too much in bright conditions, especially when I'm filming outdoors. Now for color profiles, if you want footage that looks great straight out of the camera, just stick with the normal color profile. No need for extra editing or anything. But if you want to color grade your footage to a more cinematic look, you want to switch this to the D-Log M 10-bit. This gives you the most flexibility in post-production when you need to adjust the colors yourself and you want to create your own style or your own color style in your videos. Another little tip for you, since action cameras will often give you a sharp image straight out of the camera, is to set the texture and noise reduction down 1 or 2. I've got my texture set to -1 and my noise reduction to -2. And that's just going to keep your image a little bit more softer, because often these action cameras, like your phone, will try to make that footage a little bit too crisp. One of the biggest strengths of this DJI Action 5 is the rock steady stabilization. I keep this on all the time. It makes even the bumpiest action shots look really smooth. You'll just swipe up from the bottom here and turn your rock steady or rock steady plus, depending on how much movement you kind of expect to get in your video. Another must-have for cinematic footage is ND filters. These act like sunglasses for your camera, helping to control the exposure when you're shooting outdoors. If you're filming in bright conditions, ND filters can help you maintain the proper shutter speed and keep your footage from looking overexposed. Without them, your footage will be blown out if you try to go out and shoot in bright areas or in full sunlight when you're using the 180-degree shutter rule. This kit here has different options you can use depending on the brightness. So if it's daytime with snow on the ground, it's going to be pretty bright and you're going to want an ND 32. This is the thickest filter in this set that you can get that darkens up the image a lot there. If it's just a nice bright day, you may just need an ND 8. And if it's an overcast day, you may be able to get away without even using ND filters, depending on the light in the scene. So if you're just starting out with your Action 5 Pro and you don't want to mess with all those manual settings, the manual color grading and all that stuff, these are the settings that I would set up to make it a little more beginner friendly and still give you some great results. I'm going to set the resolution to 4K at 30 frames a second for the smoothest video. And then I'm going to set my shutter speed over here, 1/60. That's going to be my 180-degree shutter rule and match my 30 frames per second. My ISO, I'm going to set that at a range 100 to 800. You may want to bump this up a little bit if you're shooting in a darker location, but at a lower ISO, you're going to get a cleaner image and not have so much grain in it still. And for the color, you can either set this to the normal 8-bit or normal 10-bit. Normal 8-bit is going to allow you to film longer and reduce your file sizes when you're editing videos. For the stabilization, I'm going to turn this to just the first setting on rock steady. That's going to give you some great smooth footage. Then if you're going to go out and go mountain biking or dirt biking, use power sports or something like that, you can bump that rock steady up if you want to. Normally I would leave it on the first setting of rock steady, and that's going to give you some great stabilized footage. These settings will give you great footage without having to worry about post-production, tweaking, and messing with a lot of color grading and all that sort of thing. So those are the best cinematic settings that I use with the DJI Action 5 Pro. Whether you're filming action-packed rides, vlogs, or cinematic B-roll, I hope this video helps you to get your action camera set and ready to film. If you found this video helpful, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll have all the links down in the description for all the gear and things you'll need for this setup, including ND filters, mounts, and accessories to level up your footage. ND filters, like sunglasses for your lens. I think when people say cinematic settings, it's like a term that's like way overused. If you just have, you can use that for vertical content. Nice, I like it. And I'll see you in this video next. I think the best and simplest way to do this